What the bloody hell is this? Another puzzle. I've only just done a video about the puzzle. Ugh. Well, it's time to get my Sherlock Holmes cap on. No, I don't have a Sherlock Holmes hat, so the Fez is going to have to do. And let's try and investigate what the heck's going on with this edition of the puzzle for 2019. To add a bit of context, yes, I did do a video that was at the end of last year, so December 2018, that covered 2019 predictions of champions. Though with a lot of the placements and some of the question marks, a lot of those theories have gone out the window. Though I'm still keeping the list. If you're interested in that video, a link to that is in the description below. And obviously, if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button and putting on post notifications so you get to see really decent and fun videos that cover things like Marvel Contest of Champions news for the community and other such videos. But with all self-promotion out of the way, let's focus on the core aspect of the video. In 2018, Kabam released 27 new characters. 5 of those were female, 5 were of an ethnic minority, and the rest were a combination of white, robotic, galactic, and, well, predominantly male-based characters. In the 2019 puzzle, as well with the 2018 one, I think there's going to be lots of red herrings and lots of different odd champions being added into the mix. For example, Lil Steve is in there, the symbiote, and also lots of the Black Order, which does have associations with some of the movies, but at the same time, they're very kind of random-based champions that were predominantly used as enemy bosses to face off against. And even though I expect some of these question marks down here to be some of those champions that we'll have as bosses, 33 is a lot of champions to come up with. So there's going to be some logical and illogical options. So let's start. Okay, let's begin. Over to the left-hand corner, Spider-Man. A different type of Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, maybe a Spider-Villain. Who knows? With the popularity of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, you probably see something that's either going to be a villain of some kind or a notable character of an alternate universe. Above there is a character that I really would like to see and is a really good fit as a partnership with Howard the Duck, and that is Man-Thing. This humanoid swamp monster does seem for me a really good fit as, like I said, a decent partner to Howard the Duck, maybe some really cool synergies that could come up from this and will be a great addition to the game. Next thing is Blade. What do I think could link off from Blade? And I'm thinking like this could be Night Stalkers or it could be some allies of Blade. There are so many different allies to choose from, and you know, it could be something that has powers, or it could be a skill-based champion, or it could even be a Kabam-related character created by them. We just don't know at the moment, but there's lots of logical options. I've got an idea that there could be something of an ancestor of Guillotine. There's several in the past, and whether or not they focus on that in a future story, that could be an option, or further increase that universe that Guillotine has around her kind of story arc. But there could be another option. The Champions of Europe were created only very recently and could see notable characters like Outlaw as well as Captain Britain being put into the game. I would be incredibly excited to see Captain Britain. Also, you know, having Outlaw in, who's been in the Contest of Champions comic book since 2015 and still hasn't made it to the game. Could this be the year? My hope is yes, but more so for Captain Britain. In the bottom left-hand corner here, I'm at an odds with what this could potentially be. I see a lot of mutants being put in over the following year and maybe going into next year, and maybe a big mutant-based event, which I'll talk about in a moment. But I'm at odds who's going to be in here. I don't think that when they say Xmen Gold, it's going to be about the Golden Age, but that could be an option to put in certain champions. But I've gone for Legion, I've gone for Azazel, and I've gone for Mystique. Maybe that's just passion pieces from myself of what I'd like to see, but it could be other things. The Golden Age of X-Men related characters can be, you know, there's loads to choose from. Very obscure ones, which again is another issue. So seeing certain things like Vanisher, could that be an option, part of the Golden Age? I doubt it, but you know, you can't help but dream. Up to these 2 question marks here, and I've got my theory quite strong on this. So it goes Cyclops, it goes up to 2 question marks, and it comes down to Cable. My theory is that the question mark is either going to be Jean Grey, or it's going to stay a little bit true to kind of comic book sort of history, because, well, all arcs change, and this could be Madeline Pryor, and that goes up to Mr. Sinister. I'm largely going to go with in a nutshell. To explain things in a nutshell, Madeline Pryor was a clone of Jean Grey, And the clone then married Cyclops, and they had the baby here, which was sort of created by Mr. Sinister, but there's a good strong link to Mr. Sinister in creating Nathaniel Summers. Then, you know, he's Cable. I don't really go too much into the story because it gets completely bastardized every single time there's a new comic book with a new story arc. But that kind of explains the link between Madeline Pryor, Jean Grey, and Mr. Sinister, and then going back to Cable. Okay, above my head, what do I think this is going to be? 2 champions, Baron Zemo, and as well Ronin. The link between Black Widow and then Hawkeye really strongly puts Ronin, which has been a theory for mine for a long time, that we will see him in Marvel Contest of Champions. It's an exciting new champion, new character that a lot of people aren't too familiar with. And also Baron Zemo. I think this is a fantastic fit, especially off of Captain America. Even though it's the World War II version, I don't think that really matters too much. But as well, it could be Arnim Zola. Yeah, but maybe it's going to be a little bit weird seeing this coming towards you in the battle realm. I think the idea of Baron Zemo would be a little bit of a better option. We've got lots to explain on the right hand side, and especially up top here, with who these characters are. I'm still at a little bit of an odds with this, as I'm going for Star Force. There's lots of different characters that do run applicable to stuff going on with Captain Marvel when the film is released in the coming months, so this could be one of many characters. Which leads me on to Korath the Pursuer, basically because he's in the movie, and as well a good link to go off from Ronin. We've also got Captain Mar-vell, and I think that's something that I'd like to see a bit in the game, and also a good link off from Captain Marvel. This also could be a rehash and rebrand of Captain Marvel, like a different version that we'll see. And finally, Silhouette. The reason I believe so strongly in Silhouette as a character is based on diversity, as well as the fact that she does break down a lot of boundaries, and not to mention the fact that she fits in really well as a character that works with Night Thrasher and also the New Warriors. I feel pretty strongly with this one. It's going to be Karina Taven. It's to the left of the Collector. It seems pretty obvious. Act 6, she's going to come into her own, but she was fixed in a cutscene, so maybe it's a case there may not be anything played out, but it did say at the end of Act 5 that she would reappear in Act 6. Over to the left here, a bit of bone and contention. I don't know whether or not I can see these two being in here. I don't know whether or not I can see them right over to the bottom right hand corner. It's very hard at this point because we need a lot of the stuff to give us that kind of triggers and ideas in the bottom right hand corner. Whether or not Galactus is going to be the big bad boss of Act 6, we don't really know that. I'm hoping that it will be because it feels like a good fit for the story. And at the same time, having these two here, Galactus and Silver Surfer, does see that they're kind of away from the action of what's going on, but could be a vital and pivotal role. There's 2 question marks here, and I've put 3 characters because I'm at odds again with what characters could fill this point. I'm pretty darn certain we're going to see Mysterio this year, which will revitalize the Sinister Six kind of villains unite thing against the Spider-Man. And in the 3 that I've chosen, I've gone for Sandman, Mysterio, which is a given, and then Scorpion. But you could even see a character like Shocker, though I do feel that we're definitely getting Mysterio. Not quite sure about the others. Now, what about the bottom right hand corner? This is the point where, as I said, it's difficult because we've not gone one specific big darn boss or one particular character that's then going to make us go, is there a link here? Kabam may roll out something that ties into Avengers Endgame, the similar thing that they did with Thanos with the Black Order, in that there may be some characters that are more enemy characters like they did with like Black Order. So is that something that we could see? I'm going with a couple of theories, but this could be 3 theories. Theory 1 is that this will be an extension or a continuation of the Avengers Endgame or Avengers based event. The second theory is it goes in with Act 6 and this is about a big bad boss, and I'm still running with that theory of Galactus, and then it links off to things like the Fantastic Four. But also there's a third theory, and this third theory revolves around Apocalypse, the mutant based character, which is, you know, the big bad character from that. And whether or not Act 6 is associated with that in any kind of way, I'm not sure. There's a running theory with that we have something like the Horseman. As you know, with Apocalypse, he has some Horsemen, especially because there's like about 4 placements to go off there. So that could be the Horseman. You just don't know. But also, I don't want to not consider the fact that Skrulls are being put into the game. They were teased in the motion comic last month, And I'm feeling that there could be something brewing, which could be big for Act 6. And this could be the big thing, that there's a Skrull invasion. And Act 6 is all about taking down the Skrull invasion. But like I said, personally, I'd like to see the idea behind Galactus and Fantastic Four. Just look at the hype that happened from just putting Silver Surfer into some sort of 4-year promotional thing, which, if it's the case that it's not going to be in the game in 2019, then it is a little bit frustrating, because the player base, a good chunk of the player base, want to see it, especially to see a character like Doctor Doom come into the fray, and as well Diablo. I've got this other theory that the January character, which is probably about 7 days from release or less, that we're probably going to see that. I'm probably going to be absolutely wrong, but I like the idea of having a character like Diablo that works well and links well with Fantastic Four into the game. I'd love to see the bottom right hand corner get filled up quite quickly, just to get a real idea with what and who is coming into the game, as to, you know, future ideas of champions, and whether or not I'm right or whether or not I'm wrong. More than likely I'm probably wrong, but you know, you've got to be in it to win it, though you don't really win anything. But in any case, I've been Rich the Man. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe for more Marvel Contest to Champions based content. If you've got your own theories of what these characters could be in these question marks, then put them down in the comments section below, and yeah, you'll probably be more right than me. But in any case, thanks so much for watching, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.